Ami a lényege szerintem ennek a kurzusnak az, hogy itt az alapítványnál mi is megtaláljuk azt, hogy Eötvös Péter után merre lehet tovább menni, úgyhogy tovább visszük mindazt, ami fontos, és egy kicsit újra feltaláljuk magunkat, úgyhogy ez a menjünk vissza Ádámig és Éváig, ez az én ötletem volt, megmondom őszintén. A Mark Twainnek ez a könyve érdekes módon egy ilyen nagyon pici antikvár könyv van nekem otthon, 1957-es magyar kiadás, ami hát ugyan komikus, de mégiscsak egy ilyen bibliai történet, ahogy Ádám és Éva egymásról írogálnak a saját naplóikban. Szóval hogy azt gondoltam, hogy van egy szöveg itt, amiben nagyon sok lehetőség van, hogyha valakinek van valami fajta vénája az, hogy milyen az operát írni, hogy hogyan lehet akár 5 percben is itt a mini operák keretében megteremteni valami fajta drámát, vagy ezeket a figurákat életre kelteni a zene segítségével.
Why are they all playing a quartet on higher? If it doesn't have any harmonic consequences? We are sharing experiences, so they are confronting a very peculiar and specific project, which is this idea of the mini opera, and they had already to shape to produce the libretto or something. I mean, a text, which would be dramatized, and then also, of course, compose the opera. And we are sharing the experiences, which has been our experience, who we are much older than they are, and how to bring the ideas to an efficient way or pragmatical way for them to be able to be translated in the musical and the dramatic action.
And after it, a Zeneakadémia doktori képzésén vagyok éppen végzős, tehát már az alap és a mesterképzés megvan, most már így ez a 4. évem a doktorin, mindez zeneszerzés szakon. Alapvetően hegedűs voltam még a komponálás előtt. Amikor mester szakon voltam, akkor elsős koromban, Bella Máté volt a tanárom egyébként, és ő mondta, hogy ő azt látja rajtam, hogy nekem ezt a New Wave, Contemporary Music zeneszerzést kellene folytatnom. Eleinte azt mondtam, hogy én nem akarom ezt, de aztán valahogy így megláttam benne a potenciált, megláttam benne magamat, és most már azt mondom, hogy ebben tudom a leginkább kifejezni magamat, sőt, a komponálás közben ezt élvezem a legjobban.
First of all, I'm very inspired to be here in this precise building. Also, well, I'm in the country, in one of the main countries for contemporary music. I'm a big fan of Ligeti and Bartók, and so to be here and to be at the home of these composers, it feels very inspiring. Also, to work with these composers and to work with my generation, it's always very uplifting because it feels like I'm being part of history and I am, and they are. We are making the music of our days and helping them shape a way to open and to communicate well with younger interpreters and to bring more attention to contemporary music, which is always very welcome. I was asked to jump in this workshop to work with young composers and to give them and help them with my insight on contemporary music and in the construction of a piece, a chamber music piece with Ars Nova. First time I'm working with them. I knew them and I work with a lot of contemporary ensembles, so this is the first time I'm doing something with them and it's amazing. It's brilliant. Also, that's what I like the most. You don't have a reference. You don't have a reference, so you don't go and search on YouTube or Spotify. No, you have to do it by yourself. You need to read, shape, understand, create, and do what these other singers at their time all did. They discovered a score and they built this score, and that's fascinating because we are not monkeys reproducing and trying to achieve a perfection. And no, it was done 500,000 times. So you want to bring your interpretation and your contemporary interpretation every time you do music, either in modern music or in other music. Yeah.
The meaning of this cooperation in between Péter Eötvös Foundation, Ars Nova Ensemble and the Queen Elisabeth Music Chapel is to bring together three institutions, a European institution from Hungary, France and Belgium, to ask the question and the meaning of what is to compose and to create opera forms nowadays. Because this topic, opera, it's an historical and also actual European big questions regarding all the changes that happens nowadays about economics, about cultural fields, networking and everything. We are asking here the question on a European cooperative level, what could it be the main goals of and the main also challenge of composing and creating together an opera and producing it in a form that could adapt in different contexts of different countries. Composers that are getting in the mentoring program of the Péter Eötvös Foundation are under the watch of Péter Eötvös, because he was a great composer for instrumental forms but also for opera. And Péter had this wonderful way, he has this wonderful way to approach opera, very direct with the players, with the singers, and also very practical, because opera is a form that directly connects you to real life. You cannot just be alone with your scores. And I think there is a way of being a professional composer linked to the Eötvös example that first we try to also transmit to those young composers. And the second one is that they have different backgrounds, they have different expectations, but what they have in common is sometimes a very dreamy and not so practical idea of what it could be to compose an opera. So the main goal is to make them understand that when you approach opera forms, you have many challenges, but you also have many questions that add a huge incidence on your expectation as a composer. And this expectation that are questioned could be about writing, the way you write music, the way you approach the voice, the way also you understand the connection in between voice and theaters, and music and theaters, because opera it's about putting in frame an action with music. And I mean the last things that is most important, the most important and also the most meaningful in this process is that an opera needs to be a fiction. It needs to get out of the stage like if we were looking at a movie, you know. And so what is it to create this connection and these feelings for the audience to attempt to a fiction, to a scene that's happened in front of you. And it's asked to have a bit of distance with your own practice of composing music, and it also asks you to understand and to integrate some elements that somehow are going to lead you in space that you were maybe not expecting as a composer.
Can I see the world? Can I see?
Did listen to this? Like I
So it goes down. I go.
but it's fine. Like there's very few details.
It is amazing because it is a lot of points of view. For example, we have composer, we have a conductor, and also we have a stage manager, which is like 3 different views, and also everything is like fitting to each other. So it was perfect, drawing like inspiration from the professors. So talking to each other, also experiencing that the other composers from another country, it is always different point of view, and we were looking at each other's scores, asking questions. It is always like learning lesson from other composer. It is a great ensemble, great singer, so I'm pretty sure it will be awesome.
I used to read a lot of Mark Twain pieces. This one I never read it before, but when I read it, It was probably the funniest reveal of the year. So nice, so sparkling, so clear, so sharp, fantastic. And also with the composers, each one took different side, different colors, and of course some words, some phrases, some pieces, some interpretations, they are closer to me, to my idea. And at the same time, as they are here, I ask them, they explain it to me, they show it to me. They're fantastic, you know, they can sing, they can play, they can everything. So the moment I don't know what to do, I ask them and they help me.
51. Yes, you mean the change.
The challenge, I mean, this is the first time I ever composed for opera, and it is something I really wanted to make for quite some time. And I felt this was an amazing opportunity because not only I have the chance to compose for a mini opera, I have the chance to be in this magnificent institution and in a country which is Hungary, which is historically amazing, incredible for music. The institution is pretty well known worldwide, and actually I think it's an honor to be here because the legacy of Eötvös it's something you can see, not only in Hungary but in the rest of Europe. Amazing people, amazing teachers, they know how to communicate everything you need or how to solve any kind of problem you may have. So working with them has been exceptional. I think it's an amazing experience, and they have given us tools to develop future projects with bigger and more ambitious ideas, and that's something I'm taking for the rest of my life, of course.